Burnout is a high-speed racing game developed by Criterion and published by Acclaim. It focuses on dangerous driving, narrow misses and insane speed. It was released on November 2001 for PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube and Xbox. So here is the top 5 reasons why I enjoyed Burnout. Gameplay. Burnout is a street racing game where you're put in the driver's seat of 9 everyday vehicles with the option of racing in 14 circuits. Vehicles like Mini Coupes, Saloon GT, Pickup, Muscle, Roadster, Tow Truck and even a bus. You're offered 6 different modes of play: Championship, Single Race, Head-to-Head, Time Attack, Face-Off and Survival. When you're playing the game, you need to compete against other opponents and reach checkpoints in the allotted time. Fail to do that and it's race over. You get bonus points for near missing other vehicles, driving in the oncoming lane and drifting. This in turn gives you access to the boost, which gives you a significant advantage that makes it incredibly risky in certain situations. When you progress with Championship mode, you get to do face-off with another vehicle. If you beat that vehicle, you get to unlock it for yourself. Things get nail-biting in the face-offs, but with a cool head you'll win them, and then you feel like a king afterwards. Time Attack is just that, racing for your best lap time, and Survival is a race to complete the track without crashing once. Levels. Taking place in the US and Europe, you'll race across realistic streets and roads in 14 courses packed with dense rush hour traffic. The streets have been sectioned off though, meaning absolutely no deviations or detours. While some parts open up later on, you'll still come across invisible walls, so there's really no sense of free roam. The levels have been detailed really well. Europe's looks very similar to a French countryside with a harbour town, a dam and even a city, while the US levels are packed with traffic in the downtown streets and interstates. Despite the fact that there are only 2 locations, the game cleverly makes different tracks available in the big areas of each location, and they also add different times of day with different traffic patterns thrown into the mix. Crashes. Burnout's gimmick is all about the crashes. It was very impressive for its time and still holds up quite well today. Crashes can be spectacular, loud, with several cars flying end over end causing glorious pile-ups. You usually get something like this happen, be it losing concentration, not being able to see a blind bend, or even a sudden change in traffic pattern. Crashes in the game isn't really what the game's about, it's more about just racing to the finish line, and having to see a crash replay 3 times is rather annoying as it takes the seconds off the timer. But nevertheless, the crashes in this game are very good to see. Speed. Burnout rewards risky driving by giving you a turbo boost meter. Drive in the oncoming traffic lane, narrow escape collisions, and utilise long drifting power slides to add boost to your meter. Initiate the boost and see the world stretch out in front of you and see the car propel forward in such a rush of speed. The music stops, all you hear is a heartbeat, and the engine whines really high. The sense of speed in Burnout is fantastic, and the frame rate holds up really well. Burnout is one of those rare games that make you feel like anything could happen at any minute, with the unpredictable traffic patterns and obstacles. Your hands are glued to the controller and your breath becomes short and you're looking for the slightest hazard as you careen your way to the finish line. Replays. One of the best features of Burnout is its replays. I still think that Burnout has the best replays even over the other Burnout titles. Something about it makes the action feel more realistic. Whether it's the motion blur, the impressive camera angles, the shaky camera feeding, it all adds up and makes the immersion factor that much better, making you believe it's real or a TV show. Another great factor of this is crashes and other fender bender moments are captured perfectly in the replays. It doesn't switch cameras like it does in other Burnout titles, like Point of Impact, Takedown and Revenge. If Criterion stuck with this formula, I think more people would have loved to be able to save their race replays, as well as their crash replays. Burnout is one of those games that may not quite pull in the crowds, but it will reward anyone who does decide to play it with an expertly blended mix of speed, control and stunts. Burnout still is my favourite Burnout title to date.